Hey y'all, happy Wednesday, happy New Year. I am so excited to be here. It has been a couple weeks. We took a break for the holidays and now we are back and we have a special session with you today about transforming 2024. I'm giving you the secret for your next up level. We will dive into that in just a moment, but I've got a few housekeeping things. If you're here, thank you so much. Please say hi, leave your comments, leave your questions. This is seriously something I do for you, not just to hear myself talk every week. But I love offering this and bringing this to you. So please ask questions. That's what I'm here for. Sometimes the comments don't show up on my phone. So I've got my Facebook pulled up. So if I am behind with the comments, I apologize, but I will make sure that I see them and answer them because this is basically, free coaching. If you show up, you can ask questions and it's just totally like for you. So if you do show up, we have a special giveaway. I'm giving away my masterclass I did last year about how I pay myself 10K months. This is something that I think is common sense, but it is not in the online space. I have 3 daughters. I don't work full time. I pay myself, 10K every month. We've been 5 figures for, I don't know. I have to do the math. I had it here. I don't remember, but I think May 2021 was when I made my first 5-figure month. So we've had 5-figure months since then. So this is something I'm very passionate about. So if you join today live or on the replay, you will be entered to win and we'll announce the winner on Friday. Something else very exciting, we're having a masterclass this month. So we started doing them every other month. So this month it will be on the 17th. It is free to join. It will come to your inbox. You don't have to be here live, but you'll get the playbook, you'll get the live stream. It is about your 6-figure plan and making 2024 the year that you join the 100K club. So even if 100K is not your goal, even if it's 8K a month or 5K a month or whatever it is, that the math would be different and not be 100K for the year. But we all have these revenue goals. And so this is literally like no fluff, just playbook and live stream that is going to break this down for you so that you can get to those 100K years this year, and I'm really excited about that. So I'll drop the link below. If you are new, welcome. I'm Jordan Ilderton. I just got back from, my kids are in school today. We've been on holiday for a few weeks. They've been home. We went to Antigua for Christmas and I got sick the very first day. I'm still kind of battling this cold, flu, COVID. I don't know what it is, but I've still got this cough and I think there might be a way to mute. I don't know. I'm not going to try to mute myself on here if I cough because I might lose you. But my apologies if this cough is just, it's been brutal. It knocked me on my tail and it was a very humbling experience, but I'm back and more healthy than I was. So that's exciting. So anything else? Yes, if you're new, I'm Jordan. I've owned Ilderton Bookkeeping and Coaching for 8 years now. So January, I've been supporting clients for 8 years. I've been working with businesses behind the scenes of every stage, every phase. I have seen it all. I know what goes into not only growing a business, but increasing profitability. I just posted on Instagram this Sunday. If you don't follow me, it's Ilderton_bookkeeping_coaching. I did literal screenshots of some of my clients' results. They are anonymous on QuickBooks, but it is just like showing their increased net income cash basis. So literal cash that they increased it. And this is literally like thousands and thousands of dollars. This is something, I'm not like in any way taking credit for this. This is something that I support clients with. This is amazing results and they are unicorns and I am so proud of them. But some of them, it's like life changing, some of this stuff. And some of my clients even started with a net loss. And so this is just to show you any business, everyone thinks they need like a certain amount of revenue or a certain amount of cash in the bank before they can invest in their business. And this is showing like these clients had literal net loss. One of them was like, I don't remember. Let me pull up the number. I think I have it here. Where's the numbers? I just want to make sure I get this right. She had a literal net loss in 2022 of 132K. And we turned that around into 82K of net income for 2023. So these were people who read the writing on the wall. They saw that their business was not getting better. Things were not changing. And so they hired me. And so this is just something I want to normalize the conversation around coaching and it not having to be like, oh, I have money sitting around to invest in my business so I can give myself permission to get support. Like that, like if you ask any of my clients, they would probably be like, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. No one thinks they have the time or the money, but it's just like sitting here in my point of view, I can see the game-changing results that they get. And I don't have the official numbers for new revenue because I started revenue share last year, but it's literally like tens of thousands of dollars of new revenue that clients have created. There were 4 clients starting from May to December. Just I'll have that number and I'll put it out in a post. But anyway, that's who I am. I support businesses to make more money, to become more profitable. My background is numbers, it's accounting. I use that to support my clients in ways that most coaches cannot. I have gotten training in Google Analytics 4, Looker Studio. I build traffic dashboards for my clients, and this is like something that no one does. Someone recently was like, Jordan, no other coach does that, right? Like people charge $1,000 or $2,000 for these traffic dashboards, but I just see it as such an integral part of my work with my clients that like, to me, that's just that's just what I do. You see my needlepoint in the background, but just ignore that. But that is who I am. I am really proud of my clients' results. Again, this is them, like I'm supporting them here. But I just think it's just so powerful to see that, people think that it's like coaching is for someone else or for someone with more money. And it's literally like people have like that one client that had negative $82,000. Like she spent $82,000 more that she made in 2022. Or what did I say? You know the number. Where was it? Negative 132K. I'm sorry. We increased it to 82K, but she was in the hole $132,000 and we turned that around into net profit of 82,000. And I've got like 5 client results. If you want to go look at the Instagram post or just message me, I can literally send you the screenshots that I took because I'm so excited and so proud of them for this. So that being said, we are opening a coaching spot in February, 1-to-1. If you think maybe this is for you, this is the year that you're like turning this damn thing around, I will drop the link below for a free call. That's just kind of a litmus test to see how we interact and how we do together. But we are accepting opening spots in February for that. And like I mentioned, we have the masterclass, so I'll put that below. But let's dive into this topic today because I think this is so important. This time of year, 2024, I am all about goal setting. I am all about a word of the year. I do all of that, figuring out your offers and what you're going to offer and when you're going to offer it and the pricing and all that. Like, yes, 1,000%. I used to have a strategic planning party that I did every January, and it was kind of around this stuff. My word of the year, fun fact, is play. So that's what I'm adding this year. Be sure if you watch or catch the replay, drop your word of the year because I think that's just fun. But I just want to add more play this year to my business. And then just kind of working that into my life in general and work with clients and just being a little more playful and just taking things from like a more, of a fun lens. I always say that business is a game and I know how to play it. And so that kind of lends itself well to the word play. Like I know that business is a game. That's what I support clients with. We know how to play it because we have the data and the literal stuff at our fingertips to know it's working. So again, I love strategic planning. I love word of the year, setting goals, all that stuff. And I know it's not the thing that's going to like up-level your business this year. So many people do the same thing year after year. And again, I'm all about having a goal, having a big goal, a stretch goal that maybe is on your vision board for a while. But so often our goals fizzle out or we don't reach them or, we just kind of have the same goal over and over. Like, this is the year I'm going to do this. This is the year I'm going to do this. And it just doesn't happen. And I know that is most people. And if you're here, you are not most people. I know that we have an amazing group of people here in this group, peaceful and profitable entrepreneurs. Like, y'all are amazing. You're rock stars. And you're not just like run-of-the-mill status quo, same as last year business owners. And so this is an important conversation I wanted to have with y'all today. And what really is, what did I call it? The secret. I'm always like, put secret in quotation marks because there's no real secret. But this is one of those things that like, if you're finding, even if you're new to business or you've kind of been in business for a while and you're just like, damn it, I'm having the same goals every year, or I said I was going to do this last year and okay, this is the year, like this is it. And this can even overflow into regular life. Obviously I'm talking business here, but business and our lives are just so connected. So this can apply to your life as well. So we're just going to talk and we'll go ahead and dive into it. I've got a mindset piece and a strategy piece. I'll stop playing this out. I feel like I'm teasing it out way too much. Let me just check for comments. If you're jumping on, say hi, leave your questions in the comments. No comments yet. relentless cough. So here I am. The mindset, and we're kind of talking this through in a couple different ways, but what got you here won't get you there. And I know we hear that term thrown around all the time, especially this time of year, but this is literally like, what got you here won't get you there. So just pause and think about that for a minute. And I don't mean in terms of like, what got you here won't get you there. Like if you've been posting consistently and selling and all that, like, yes, you still need to do that. Like it's not that sort of thing. Like we're talking deeper. This isn't just like, oh, well, what got me here was showing up in Facebook groups or giving free calls. It's not those types of things. We're talking about what got you here as a person. As for me, in my case, Jordan. As Jordan in my past, who I am, this is what got me here. But when I think about next level Jordan, I've got to leave a ton of shit behind. And we'll talk about that in a second. But we're talking about being a different version of yourself. If you really want to make change this year, if you really want to get those goals that you've had for so long, or book the clients, or make the money, or, prove to yourself that like this business is working, like you've got to be a different person. And I know that is hard to hear. And it's some of the work I do with my one-to-one clients because it's tricky, because some of the things that you may need to let go of are things that worked for you in the past or that got you to where you are now, which maybe you're like, I make $5K a month. So this version of me got me to $5K. It's not going to get you to $10K. It's not going to get you to $15K. So it's very tricky because we think that like what got us here is like what we need to hold on to. And we want to just like, no, I can't let that go. I can't, let perfectionism or people pleasing go. Like that's what got me here. That's what makes me good at my job. That's why I've booked, 5 clients last year. Like, but literally like some of those things are not going to get you where you want to go. And I say perfectionism and people pleasing because those are the two biggest ones. Making ourselves wrong. And I'll talk about me personally because this is one of those areas I always want to keep my client stuff confidential, but I feel like just sharing my own personal stuff is kind of the best place to start and go from here. But it's just that's the secret, is like what got you here won't get you there. And showing up in your old identity won't fit in the new you that you want. Like it's just like, if you're like changed sizes and you're trying to put on a different pair of pants, like literally it might not fit. Like that old version of you and who you want to be and the results that you want just are not congruent. They don't fit. They don't mesh. It doesn't go together. I have a version of myself I call Scarcity Jordan. And I literally last year, at the end of the last year, Q4, November, December, I killed her. Like I killed Scarcity Jordan. And I know that sounds extreme, but I thought of it like in Harry Potter. We were reading Harry Potter and it was the one where they go to the Ministry of Magic and Ron gets like trapped in these brains and they wrap these tentacles around him. And like, that was literally in my mind, Scarcity Jordan was getting wrapped up in these tentacles and she's gone. And I thought of it as she had been with me for a while. It was hard to kill her off because I kind of saw that as like part of myself and part of what got me my results and part of me thinking like that's how I got here. But really I got amazing results last year despite her, not because of her. So if you're thinking about this, think about some of those traits that you're like, that piece of me, that version of me, that just needs to go. Like, if I'm going to be this next version of myself, I've got to let go of these other pieces. And so for me, that was Scarcity Jordan. For you, it might be perfectionism. And obviously we want to over deliver. We want to surprise and delight. Like, we are service providers. Our livelihood is based on our services. But there is a point where it's like, too much perfectionism is holding you back, or people pleasing, or beating yourself up, or feeling shame or guilt or worry. Like, these are all things that are like holding you back, and it's not gotten you to the results you have. It's like you have the results now despite all of that. So that's just important to talk about. So the mindset piece of this is asking yourself, who is that next version of you? Like, who is she? What does she believe about business? What does she believe about booking clients? What does she believe to be true in general? How does she show up in the world? What does she believe about money? What's normal for her? I think about back before I made 10K months, like a big goal for me was 3K a month. And so just looking back and being like, wow, like 10K plus is my new normal. Like that is just like not available for anything below that at this point. So just seeing that, like, what's normal for that next level version. Like, give her a name, talk to her, lean on her for support, ask questions. Like, it can be so helpful. So this is like that piece of, what got you here won't get you there. So thinking about, who do you want to be? Who is that version of you that actually gets the results this year? How are they doing things differently? Because that is so, so important. And I'll just tell you a little bit about me. So my next version of myself, I call her Taylor. Taylor is my middle name. It came from when I was young, and I would go to sleepaway camp, and I was scared, and I liked the name Taylor better than Jordan anyway. So when I went to camp, I would tell everyone when my name was Taylor, because nobody knew me and I could just get a fresh start. And it was like this braver version of me. Like, Taylor was braver. She could go to sleepaway camp by herself, have fun, make new friends. I'm very much an introvert. So when I think of my next self and next phase in business, I call her Taylor. And sometimes what we can do is think that our next version of ourselves, we can pedestal them. Like, we think that they don't have any challenges. And so we think that we are getting it wrong because we have challenges, or, it's just not true. Like, the next level version of ourselves will still have challenges. So that's something I feel important is to speak to, because I've gotten in that trap before, where I think the next version of Taylor is like, well, Taylor never has to deal with a client not paying, or Taylor never has to deal with software not working, or shit just blowing up that you can't even control. That's just not reality. Like, the next level version of yourself still has challenges. And so just making sure that you're not making yourself wrong as you're on that journey to be the next level of yourself, but really giving yourself so much grace and permission, because there will still be challenges no matter where you are. And not to make a story, but even especially as you grow, I realize I've had more challenges as I've gone through business, just because I'm supporting more clients. I've got a team. It kind of comes with the territory. Thinking that, okay, in my 8th year of business, I would have less challenges than I did in year 1. It kind of makes sense, but then it's it actually doesn't, because I've grown so much and I've got so much more going on. And it's full and it's fun and it's great, but it does open you up to more challenges. So just seeing that, and seeing that nothing is wrong because you're having to deal with this, and your next level version of yourself still has to deal with all that. So you're really asking yourself, how would I deal with, a client leaving or not paying, or whatever other challenges come up, and just use that next version of yourself to answer the question. So we can kind of go into the strategy of this. And 2024 is something right now, I'm coming off of holiday with my kids, traveling, being sick. I'm not sitting here just take 2024 by the reins and just smack it around and I'm going to crush it. That's just not, I don't know. No, if you're feeling that way, great, amazing. But I'll just be honest, I'm not really feeling that way now, but I still give myself so much permission to see that next level version of myself, seeing that it does include some cash goals, seeing that it does include play, just having more fun. Hey, I'm just going to take Fridays and either volunteer at my kids' school, or I'm going to go for a walk with my friends. Just things like that are it doesn't need to be I'm going to be full every single month and master classes every month. It's just not, that's not the vibe right now or this year. And so just giving yourself permission, wherever you are, just see how you can work this in as the next version of yourself. It doesn't have to be right now, Taylor is not booking 20 clients a month. That's a hard no. I work part-time. I pick up my kids from school every day. I provide an unprecedented amount of in-between support. I serve the shit out of my clients. And so I am very mindful to stay not fully overstretched. And so 2024 for Taylor doesn't look like anything crazy. It just looks like having more fun and playing with some extra cash. So that, I just wanted to give you my perspective and kind of my thought process and what I'm going through, and sharing that for you, so that you're okay, my next version of myself doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can literally be kind of just this next thing that I want to play into. So hope that's helpful to hear. So we'll talk about strategy. And this can look different for everyone, but I'm going to go through 3 things 3 tips that can kind of help you as you move into this new mindset of what got you here won't get you there. So you may need to drop perfectionism. You may need to drop hustling, people pleasing, scarcity, worry, all that stuff. But the first thing is to really give yourself space. Give yourself stillness, because that is something we just don't do these days. I even, go for a walk without my headphones on, or, there's like podcasts and certain mentors that I have that I always love listening to. And then outside of that, I pretty much cut off the world. Like I have to be mindful, like I'll drive to the grocery store and not listen to anything, just give my brain space. And so that's something I think we all need, like literal space in our mind and space in our calendar. Like I just mentioned with 2024, I'm like, I'm not starting my meetings this early on certain days because I want to make time for other things. Like recalibrating how you're operating before you respond to something. Give yourself time. Like, if you're messaging with a client or potential client or team member and your knee-jerk reaction is kind of that old version of yourself, really just stop, like go for a walk, wait a day to respond, get crazy, but really come back with like a different way of thinking than you normally would. And that just takes space. It takes time. Our brains are very efficient. They like to conserve calories. It likes to, go like the fastest route possible. And so we have these like neural pathways and connections and synapses and all that are just already made. And so we have to like back the train up a little bit. And that just takes literal space and time. So I hope you give yourself space in your calendar, space in your mind, whatever your knee-jerk reaction is, like let yourself have time to process it and show up, answer the question, whatever it is, provide the training, have the call as that new version of yourself, and not just like, oh, this is what the previous version of me always said or always did. So that's the first one, is giving yourself the space and the stillness to incorporate that new version of yourself. So then the next thing is just really thinking about changing the way you look at things. So challenging your beliefs. I think of my glasses. I got glasses at the end of last year. When I take them off, I can barely read. I can read because I know letters and I'm in my 40s. That's what I told the guy when I was getting my eye test. I was like, I know letters because I've been around for decades, but like they're really furry, fuzzy, blurry, whatever. So I think of it as like putting on glasses. Like I'm literally looking at the world through a different lens. And if you need that metaphor, think about that. Like challenge your beliefs. Think about the way you see things. Like think about it as literally getting, you always hear rose-colored glasses. I'm all about some rose-colored glasses, but whatever kind of glasses you need for that next level version of yourself, like put those glasses on. Maybe, I've mostly use these for work. I'm at a computer all day. So it's like when I put these on, it's like that next level version of myself. And I'm literally looking at the world from a different view, because your current beliefs may not match the reality that you want. If you believe that, no one buys in November, December, we'll use that as an example. That was something I talked with a client about. If you believe no one books in December or November, that's probably what you're going to get, but when you're like open to, actually, I solve the problem that people have all freaking year long. Yeah, someone can hire you. I had this conversation with a client. She's like, no one books this time of year. And then a week later, somebody booked, because we had the conversation. It was like, let's be really careful what you're telling yourself. So she was open and available for it. And she booked a client like in December. I booked multiple clients in November. It was very exciting. But like, just using this as, like your current beliefs of what's possible, what type of money you can make, what kind of clients you can have. Like it kind of goes back to that identity self of like, what do you believe possible? What is that next level version of your self-belief? Because that may not be congruent with how you're currently looking at life. So, thinking about abundance as coming from, who I be, not what I do. Like, and that's something I really try to embody. It's not like, oh, if I do these XYZ things, then, then I'll be abundant. But it's literally like, I'm just abundant because I am. Just because I am here, and, we won't get into like spirituality and all that stuff, but like, I just believe in abundance of air and sunshine and trees and hugs and smiles and all of that. And so it's not based on like me having to wake up at 5 o'clock and do my workout and all that. Like abundance is not based on that. So I know that's kind of a funnier analogy, but really thinking about like, what are your beliefs, and reevaluating them. And then putting those together and just surrounding yourself with people at the new level. So this is why I think coaching, and I know coaching, is so beneficial, because I'm literally working with people who we're constantly questioning their thoughts. They're making an offhand comment, but it's like, actually that shows a lot about what you believe is possible. Like the, client I mentioned that's like, no one buys this time of year. Like that could have really affected her. She booked a client that is going to be on board for at least 3 to 6 months. And so that's like thousands and thousands of dollars that she could have missed out on if she was literally like, no one buys this time of year. Why even bother? So just having someone to sit there with you and call your bullshit and look at the data behind the scenes. Like, I'm putting this in a post coming out, but I kind of, my clients forget that they book clients. Like, they're just like, oh, my business isn't, they don't necessarily say not working, but like, they're frustrated. It's like, you do remember you booked a client last week, or you do remember last month was like, blew it out of the water from the year before, or you do know that we've increased net income or profitability by X amount. Like, they just forget these things because they have human brains, and their brains like to focus on the challenges or the, problems. And it's like having someone here with you to actually have the true picture of what's really going on. That's why I love QuickBooks. That's why I love Google Analytics and Looker Studio, to be like, holy snap. Like, did you know, like, why are we spending more money on Instagram? You have a ton of traffic coming from Facebook. Let's focus on that. Like, just someone that's not like wrapped up in your own BS to like sit there and point things out to you. It is amazing. And so that's what I'm going to wrap it up with. Like, I'm here to kind of support my clients when they're acting from that previous version of themselves. Like, if they've told me they want to be this next level, certain version of themselves, and then they're still showing up as the old one, it's my job to call them out on that, and lovingly, and doing it in a way that's not like shaming or blaming or guilting, but like, hey, like just bringing it to their attention, because that's what I'm here for. It's my literal job. So I hope this has been helpful for you. The secret to getting what you want in 2024, to finally getting the results that you've said you want, is not from a word of the year. It's not from setting more goals. It's not from more time blocking. I love all of those things, but it's like actually changing the foundation of who you are and what you believe. Like, basically, you need to leave 80% of the shit behind, to be 20% and get the results that you want for the next year. It's that, I don't remember, it's the 80-20 principle, but I see so often it's like, we just need to leave so much behind to actually get what we want. And so taking that mindset of, what got you here won't get you there, and thinking about where is there. Who is she? Who is that version of me? Because that is going to make the difference. And again, I'm so excited. I hope this has been helpful for you. Please give me your questions, your ahas, your takeaways. Such an honor and privilege to be here with you every week. And again, I'll drop the link below for our masterclass coming up, your path to your six-figure plan. Make 2024 the year that you join the 100K club, or whatever K club you are going for. But this is no fluff. This is legit. Like, this stuff works. So be sure to sign up and get the playbook and the live stream, and I'll see you there. And again, thanks for showing up. See you next week.